They probably said to him, "Oh, well, don't worry about Usyk. No, it'll take 20%. It'll take 20%. It'll take 20% on a man's handshake. Hey, good old boy. You take 20% and we'll do a good dinner. We'll do a good dinner, Usyk." like it's like a deal they're doing in the car park. It's not. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode on the Ordinary Boy Boxing channel. Now in today's video we're going to talk about how Tyson Fury has basically fucked this undisputed fight. He has completely threw it in the bin with either greed or the fact he didn't want to fight Usyk. We're going to get into that shortly. Obviously if you've been living under a rock for the past week, you'll know that Fury versus Usyk, the undisputed fight, has finally collapsed. From what we know, hearing from both promoters, what it came down to was the rematch. That's what kind of stuffed all the plans in the end. Originally, Tyson Fury had demanded that the fight was not 50-50. Was not 60-40, but would be 70-30 in Tyson Fury's favour. Usyk agreed to this, but said, if I win in the rematch, I want 70-30. Tyson Fury said, no. If you win, it will be 50-50. Now, I've also heard that Fury said, no, I want it to be 70-30 in my favour, but I actually then heard again from Frank Warren that if Usyk had won, it would have been a 50-50. So this is Fury, and obviously Usyk didn't want any of that and said, no, or Usyk's manager, we can't do this fight. So, some points. So firstly, Fury is probably right to ask for the lion's share. I would value... So we'll just talk about the first fight and then we'll get into the rematch. I would value Fury versus Usyk, which was due to happen in April. Was never going to happen in April, but was due to happen in April. I would value that at a 60-40 for Tyson Fury based on both men and the belts. Fury is the bigger name. He's the bigger draw. He's been proven to be the bigger draw. He's more known worldwide. He's probably been in the bigger grossing fights. And he's a WBC champion. So he deserves 60% of that. Usyk though, he had two massive fights with Anthony Joshua. He is the unified heavyweight champion. He holds all the other belts. He's still a name in his own right. I think he has passed over to the casuals somewhat, especially with his fights with Joshua. He's also the undisputed, or was the undisputed cruiserweight champion. He's also had notable fights against people like Derek Chisora, Tony Bellew. So he still deserves 40% of that. He's bringing more belts, but not as big a name as Fury, but still a big name. So that's what it should have been. Fury said, no, I want 70-30. Did he think Usyk would not agree to that? Or did the people around Fury say he will take it, so let's get some more money? And he did. He agreed to it. He agreed to 70-30. Now, I've heard so many things about this rematch clause, and it surprises me that it got left so late for them to try and sort out this rematch thing. So rematch would be standard in this contract. Undisputed fight. The problem with undisputed fights is you have two men who hold all the belts. They fight for the undisputed championship, but they're bound by a rematch clause, which means when the rematch comes to happen, at least one of the governing bodies, the WBC, the WBA, whoever, say, no, if you don't fight your mandatory now, you're going to get stripped of your title. So the rematch then is not for the Undisputed Championship. So you only... often when there's a rematch, the first fight will be the only fight for the Undisputed Championship. You have your Undisputed Champion, and then before you know it, the belts are fragmented again, which I think would have been the case with this. So that first fight, I suppose technically would have been bigger than the second because it would no longer have been for Undisputed. The argument that Frank Warren's making is don't worry about the rematch because it's not going to be for Undisputed. It's just this first fight, which I kind of get. But you take Undisputed away, I don't think it loses that much from the fight, really. It's still a big fight. It's still the unified championships. And people still see whoever would have won the first fight, Fury or Usyk, as the Undisputed Champion. So the fight's now not happening. I went on record in a few videos and said I didn't think it would happen. From all accounts, Usyk has been nothing but easy to work with from all the other opponents. He's a free agent, and there's never really been any issues until now. Fury, no doubt, is coming across worse than Usyk in this situation, and I'm glad of that. I really could not be bothered with Fury putting another spin on this and people blaming Usyk, because for my money, Usyk has been nothing but a stand-up professional throughout his whole career. Whenever he's dealing with other fighters, other fights for the promoters, I've never really heard of anything bad with Usyk. Fury, on the other hand, we have. Fury's career is littered with cancelled fights, rescheduled fights, fights that were supposed to happen and haven't happened. And yes, we can blame other people for that, and rightfully so. The Joshua situation, I blame Joshua and Eddie Hearn for a lot of that, but he was still involved with it. And obviously, Wilder was an issue when he forced the rematch between him and Fury. But there's a bit of a pattern starting with Fury, and I think the public is starting to pick up on it. Fury, as we could have all predicted, released a video the other day. It's on my shorts, basically calling Usyk a dosser, a midget, every name under the sun. No, that worked for you with Joshua, because we were like, yeah. Doesn't work with Usyk. You're just coming across like a dickhead. Fury, this is probably one of the lowest points for Fury popularity-wise now, and I think it will affect him. Fury will get interviewed and say, I don't care. I don't care about Undisputed. I don't care about what people think, blah, blah, blah. He does. He does more than a lot of fighters, actually, I think. I think he loves being popular. He loves being he sees himself as the people's champion. And this has done nothing to help with that. So I am laying the blame on Fury's door for this. Do I believe that Fury's scared? No, I don't believe Fury's scared. I believe this was a calculated step to get more money, thinking after Usyk took the 70-30, they tried to push their luck. I don't think it's Fury's it may not be Fury's decision, and I don't think it's Frank Warren's decision. I actually think it's probably the people around Tyson Fury. I honestly believe he has these people around him that know nothing about boxing and just care about money, and they're giving him bad advice. They probably said to him, "Oh, well, don't worry about Usyk. No, he'll take 20%. He'll take 20%. He'll take 20% on a man's handshake. Hey, good old boy. You take 20% and we'll do a good dinner. We'll do a good dinner, Usyk." like it's like a deal they're doing in the car park. It's not. It's a mega fight for the Undisputed Championship. I think also the fight not being able to be put on in the Middle East affected things money wise. I think that God knows how much. I've been 80 million for Fury or something, and Fury saw those numbers. It then couldn't happen there and was going to happen in Wembley, and Fury still wanted a lot of money, which meant Usyk was going to have to suffer. Whenever a fight like this does break down, both are responsible. But I don't. How much more could Usyk give away for this fight to happen without it just being pointless? This is Usyk's career. Boxers have relatively short careers, and they need to make their money while they can, especially in situations like this. So the fight, anyway, will not happen. So what happens now? Well, Usyk, I think, is mandated to fight Daniel Dubois I got his name right. Daniel Dubois' last outing was that dodgy fight he had. It's up on the channel. It's my most viewed video actually. Daniel Dubois against Kevin Lorena. Fixed fight. I thought it was dodgy. So that'll be his first fight since then. I'll do predictions on both. Of course, I'll have a little look into it more. I think Usyk takes Dubois apart. I really, really do. I don't think there's going to be that many people that are picking Dubois to beat Usyk. So that fight should happen. Now with Fury, I don't know who's mandatory. I think it may be Joe Joyce. Realistically, Usyk's not happening. There's only, I think, 2 fights that the public will accept for Fury now, without it being Usyk. One of them is Anthony Joshua. I still think, even though Joshua's lost, I still think the hype around that fight would overcome any naysayers and disputes about what's happened with Usyk. It would be too big of a fight. Do I think that happened? No. I actually think those two are never going to fight. I'll be really surprised. And the other fight is Joe Joyce. Now, I know there'll be a lot of people going, Joe Joyce, he's rubbish. He's honestly not. He looks it sometimes in his fights, but he's not. He's actually a very, very good heavyweight. He's deceiving when you watch him. But he's a very, very good heavyweight. He's proved that. So that fight, well, me personally, I'd be alright with that fight. I'd rather Usyk, but that's the fight he should take. And it's the only one I can see him being able to take, to be honest. The problem is the public, you know, we let him off, kind of, with Chisora. We went, alright, go on then, fight Chisora. It's a keep busy fight, but we know we've got Usyk coming up, so okay. We'll watch it. We'll go and buy a ticket. We'll buy it on pay-per-view. And now he's kind of pulled the rug from under us all, and we're not getting it. We're not getting an Usyk fight. So if he goes to fight Wilder again, or Derek Chisora again, or who knows, Jarrell Miller, then the anger's going to get even worse. So he really does need... He's had his warm-up. He's had his easy touch. He now needs to fight someone decent. And I think that has to be Joe Joyce. Or Joshua, but I don't think the timings work very well with Joshua, and I don't think it's going to happen. So that's what's happened. That's what's gone down. A lot of people have a lot of opinions on this situation. I did do a poll on the community channel, and it was a varied mix of blame, but most of you were blaming Tyson Fury for this, and I would agree. Anyway, do let me know in the comments below what you think about this whole situation. Who do you want either man to fight next? Are you okay with Usyk Dubois? Are you okay with Fury Joyce? Or would you like something different? And do you think either of these men will actually ever fight each other? And when, oh when will we get that undisputed fight? Please let me know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And please, the most important thing is do not forget to subscribe to the channel. It really does help me. I'm also now on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok under the name Ordinary Boy Boxing. Links to those can be found in the description of my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you all in the next video.